Welcome back. Dozens of people showed up outside a Massachusetts courthouse in support of a mother who strangled her 3 kids. The supporters say the mom is the real victim because she suffers from postpartum psychosis. Luigi Mangione executed health insurance CEO Brian Thompson. Yet Free Luigi supporters consistently rally for him outside court, and he had to ask women to stop sending him naked pictures of themselves because he was getting so many. The supporters all claim the CEO had it coming because of what the CEO did for a living, healthcare. Then there's the murder case against Carmelo Anthony. Anthony killed a fellow track athlete. His lawyers say it was justified because of racism, although they offer no evidence. Call this a new form of social justice. Murder is okay if you kill for the right reasons, or you kill the right people, or you've been oppressed in the right way. Director of the Center for Better Health at the Independent Women's Forums, Dr. Monique Yohanan is with us. Good to see you, ma'am. Thank you. Am I being too simplistic to chalk all this up to a newfound love or an excuse for people who kill people?
Not at all. I would say that we have had a very troubling change in culture in the last few years. And really, when I look at this, there are 3 things that I feel like are driving this. One is this true crime phenomenon where people are comfortable having these parasocial relationships with admitted killers. The next is that we have had
what does parasocial mean?
So that people think they're connected. They think they know these people, that they are their friends. And so they're very comfortable looking at, again, Lindsay Clancy is an admitted killer. And they are taking the position that this is somebody I'm personally connected to. I feel like there is this sort of true crime piece that's part of it. I think we've had a loss in institutions where people have lost faith and don't go to church. They're not believing in government, and they're substituting identity politics for that. They're substituting their race and then, or whatever particular group.
Gender ideology, socialism, whatever it is. Okay.
And then I think finally we have this culture of grievance that goes along with the identity. And the facts don't matter in a culture of grievance. And so people are going to pick this grievance. They're going to, again, the facts don't matter. Lindsay Clancy, every doctor who was involved in her care who's testified, said she did not have psychosis and she was getting care. And they have substituted this idea, this general grievance about women don't get enough health care after they are delivering a baby. The problem with that, beyond the fact that ignoring the facts is always a challenge, the reality is the victims become very inconvenient. So Callan and Dawson and Cora don't matter when you think about that. When you idolize the killer, when you focus on your identity and your grievance, the victims simply just don't matter.
So there's 3 different things going on here, or 3 different cases, right? And we put them together to not focus on any singular one. Is there room, though, for understanding of this mother? This does seem like a unique case, that there is somehow, maybe not people feeling like they know her, but feeling like they have had similar experiences of being so distraught after having children that they sympathize with a woman who could be in this case.
You know, I am a mom, first and foremost, and compassion is important, even when people have done horrific things. But compassion is never an excuse. The reality is that postpartum depression, which clearly she was diagnosed with, according to the people who've testified, that is a much more common condition. It is serious, but it is even, she has not been diagnosed with postpartum psychosis, according to the people who took care of her. And she did get care as recently as the day before she committed these horrific
So something's
acts.
changed, though. And I think you picked up on this in your first answer in America, right? You think about the case of Andrea Yates, who killed her kids. You think about Susan Smith, South Carolina woman who rolled her car into a lake, October of '44. She was convicted of murder, sentenced to life in prison. People came out protesting against these women. They were seen as monsters. Now the society has changed, and there's protests in support of the mom. Is it all the issue of grievance, or is it more that people feel as though there's not a responsibility. If somehow you have been victimized, if you have mental health issues, then you were the real victim.
Well, I think, again, there is this normalization that we've had of killers, unfortunately. And I do think a lot of it does come down to grievance. I do think it's important for moms to know that there are mental health resources. There's, for example, a national hotline, 1-833-TLC-MAMA, that's 24/7 available. There are resources, and people should seek care if they are depressed, if they are anxious after giving birth.
Yeah.
But the reality is, we should never let our compassion excuse illegal actions. We should never let our compassion make it okay for people to kill.
Right, and it goes beyond, I think, of the three cases, Lindsay Clancy is probably the most sympathetic character. And then you go down the chain, and there's still this overwhelming infatuation with him. Dr. Monique Yohanan, thank you both very much. Appreciate you being with us.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.